Hello, welcome to this interview. Your name and who that you be?
Dr. Edward Hinga, the Minister of Trade and Industry.
Okay, Mr. Minister, where you be the talk earlier during the government press briefing, you make mention of the National Microfinance. I want to make you tell me more about this fund.
Well, a fund where His Excellency the President himself sit down and look at and see what we will do for provide finance for small and medium businesses in the country. So you see, say, a thing we would only think through because we don't get similar microcredit funds than we would now operate in the past by other government them. We actually end up for be big failure. So as a government, we know one for see that kind of thing happen again because we want to make this thing really become one fund we go able to for a very, very long period of time for support with small and medium enterprises. I think so what we've been planned for do now for sit down and think through about which new structure we will put in place. We go truly able can make sure say this thing able survive a very long period of time. So what we choose to do, we develop the operational manual and we get a very, very experienced person in microfinancing. We come and study the market, look at what the other people them done they do. And then some of the key things them we've been concerned about. Now one, how we go able make people them where they can take their money there for go help them do them business, able pay back. Because if they're not able to pay back, then it means more money not go there for make we put inside the fund. So we try for see and know say a number of things and the way we're supposed to do for make sure say the recovery rate very good. So what would they do alongside giving the microcredit? Would they make sure so we're able to assess the businesses based on their competence for able to do business? If we don't do inside business for a while, maybe 1 or 2 years, and if you don't able for the pay all you commitments them, maybe of course we know some businesses people do now some man in banking they go take money. If you don't able show evidence even when you go take the money then they in a bank with the interest rate way and they ask for, if you don't they able for the pay back the money where you go take at the bank. The other thing we'll look at now, the grace period we not been on there. Previous microcredits when they give people in the camp then take the money. The following month, they say begin pay. They don't give the market man or the trader enough time for able to do in business. So what we don't try for do, we try for create a grace period. So at least we don't give you the money. You go able to do your business with time, and reach a certain period, then we begin ask you for pay. The other thing we would look at, now the interest rate is very, very high. In fact, now that one of the responsibility for the low recovery rate in the country. If you ask somebody for pay an interest of 30%, then you just want to make the person just the work for you. So what will they try for do if you really want to support the businesses for make them able to do well, able through them business, able get their own capital, you really get for consider the interest rate. And then make we don't talk to the banks them and the other microfinance institutions, then when through them we get for pass this money. For make we able buy them, make them able agree with we, for make them lend them money there at an interest rate above 10%. So once we able to do that one day, we go ensure say the people that are able to get breathing space for do their own business, the interest rate not go be killing, and then go able to do their business, raise their own capital, and then the fund will continue for other people then we go on for continue for the benefit from this fund.
So what type of business people wanna consider?
We consider all kind of business people then. Business people then where they go they trade in the market, where they buy half thing then they go sell. Business people them where they inside agriculture. Business people them where they pan cookery business, where they pan tourism, where they pan all kind business. We dey try for make sure say once we don't start with this fund, we don't set for a start at 50 billion. Government will continue for the put more money inside this fund, so that we will increase the ability of the fund for able to provide more capital for other bigger businesses.
So when una get for start for give out them fund there?
Very, very soon. Like I say, we don't finish the operational manual. We work out the institutional arrangement. Very soon we'll get for begin see how we roll out the regional offices and try for put together the manpower we will able handle the whole thing, manage them. So latest, maybe by end of September, going into November, October, we'll be able to roll out the scheme.
So, like, if a person where they do like cookery business want for get this loan, waiting in need for do, waiting go qualify them for make a go for this loan?
Well, the government agency will really they supervise all waiting that happen with this loan. Now, the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency, SMEDA. So, like businesses we want for benefit, first of all, can go to the office and inquire about waiting they need for do, for prepare themselves if they want for benefit from the scheme. Then, if at all some of the criteria we then get for set out, they're not able to meet up, the very SMEDA and get opportunity for train them with businesses in there, so that then we're able to prepare them, and through that process you go able to qualify for make you benefit from this fund. So I think say we do all of that because we truly want to make sure say we get more and more businesses for able to benefit from this.
So I want to know like if they access, they look at the person in business before grant and the amount where he request for.
Of course, a couple of things in there. I mean, they say you get forget book money, but we get for no say you not business we're really ready for grow. So any person where they run a business we're not ready for grow, I mean we'll get problem with you. You get for show the indications. How man they go inside business for make you grow, right? Today you get 10,000 loans where you don't start for do you cookery business with. After 1 month you go and make that 10,000 don't go to 12,000 loans. I mean, and so on and so forth. By next year, sometimes you go expect say you don't go 50,000 loans. Now then kind mindset then they will look for. Because we truly want to see how we will transform this country into a medium income country by 2028. And this is not the vision of the president, and we want to make sure so we explore all the possibilities, for make sure so we create the opportunities and there for them people and we really want to do business and do well in it.
And also I go want for draw your attention back as you be the talk during the government press briefing, you make measure of stable price in the country, and plenty people don't raise concern about the way our price the change. Like if you go buy something today, and when you go tomorrow, you go meet different prices, especially in the shop, and even some of our local produce and so. So I go want to know what exactly you mean about the stable price. How stable the price be?
Prices are stable, and particularly with the essential commodities. How much you buy petrol last month? 7,000 per liter, not so? Huh? The price is stable for petrol for the last 3, 4, 5 months. See the price stable. For the first time inside the history of this country, we don't bring petrol price down. I mean, they tried 9,000. Bring and come down to 8,500. We come with and down to 7,000. Then a clear evidence where they should say, really, this government, they work on a number of things. Take a look at cement. Cement will start the year, cement, when they go up to 90,000 euros per bag. But we organize that space, that sector, and now you just see, said, people in the sell cement at even 65,000. The supply price for cement, the imported cement, now 60,000. The Dangote cement, now 57,000. It's been like that over 6 months ago. Take rice. Rice in supply price today now been 238 and don't go up to 240. And they come down and they go up. But you see say relatively unstable. Well, the talk about stability no means say get fluctuation. No way, no the way you go there, you say one price go there for a very, very long time, waiting, because we get a number of factors we really responsible for change prices of commodities from time to time. But we're talking about the stability within a given period of time. You don't say the rice price also fairly stable. But butter brand rice and the Big Joe with all man like where Bokuman can buy. You just see the price don't dey just within that range there. We go ask the market self, some side in the sell at 250, some side in the sell at 252, that's so no more. Every other commodity way they talk about sugar, the price been there trade 300 and something, and calm down under this regime. And looking at all the efforts we don't do under the quick action economic response program, you don't see we support the importers and through the Bank of Sierra Leone with a facility will help them for go bring come more goods. Once the goods are available, you don't even need to get any structured price control system where you go and they beat people. They say, no, this price don't for be 10,000, for be 8,000. Where you do that one day, you just scare the investments and you just scare the businesses. And which thing will end up, the one way get the ability for bring and camp, will stop for bring and camp. And scarcity can they. So you government, you can say, when for sale rest 20,000. But if the rest not there, the price will just shoot up. So all which you need for do, support the one that way they produce them, support the one that way they bring and come into the country, so that you get enough stock in the country. So the competitive price, now you go make sure say the price really remain with science supposed for there. Because right now, as I talk to you, you get boku rest. You will buy and say you go keep until rainy season come. In fact, this rainy season, you notice a rice price candle for the very first time. So you see what you would try for do here. Not to say you not expect the small fluctuation. You check every other business prices. You get small fluctuation, but relatively, and then within the range where you really go say the price of commodities are stable. And I think so down there the refer to.
Okay, so all waiting you don't say, so waiting at the message we go add.
Well, we get a couple of other plans and we as a ministry to put together. We want believe say for transform the economy of this country, you get for open them up. You get for allow more businesses for come. You get for improve the doing business environment. You get for come up with policy then where the business people then go look as one way attractive. We go able to make them there. You get for also engage the private sector now for talk. Then get challenges when they're in the face. The business people then where most people then want for take can whip. Then some get their own challenges. And until you open that opportunity for make them talk with government, so that you're not able to understand the challenges we themselves they face, we're not able to move this country forward. And I tell you, the only way we'll get for move this country forward, now we'll allow businesses, we'll allow the private sector for take the lead and make sure say we'll get economic growth in this country. The industry policy will they try for review, the special economic zone policy will they try for develop, and the legislation we get for accompany them, the institutional framework, them all. Now one big area where His Excellency don't see the potential. And once we begin produce for we seven in this country, you see automatically prices then go begin come down. That's one. Two, you go see say, even with currency go become stable. With balance of trade, we go able to offset them. So that we go the account now positive for balance of trade. We go for able to sell more to the outside world than we they buy. Once we they buy more and then we they sell less, we will get a lot of economic problems. But if we find ourselves in a situation where we open boku industry, businesses and they go, we'll begin export more commodities to other countries. Then you go see say we country go begin stable. And at that side we want to make this country a day. And that's the vision of His Excellency the President.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I will start with the Minister of Trade. The Ministry of Trade is in the process of doing institutional reforms in that particular ministry, and these reforms include stock of essential commodities and prices, market opportunities, industrial development, as well as the National Microcredit Scheme. All of these efforts are geared towards economic diversification and growth. Here with us this afternoon to talk to us more about these, I'll invite Dr. Hinga to please come up.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Ministry of Trade, in an effort to ensure that we improve on service delivery and also to bring on board evolving functions, particularly as we enter into a new era of doing business globally, has embarked on a couple of institutional reforms. We're looking at the ministry's structure itself and how it is able to respond to such functions, and also to see how we are able to improve on our service delivery efforts. So in that case, you will see that the ministry, with its usual directorates of domestic trade, foreign trade, policy, has now been completely transformed, and now we have emphases on, for instance, private sector engagement, private sector dialogue, entrepreneurship and industry development, etc., etc. And we also have a directorate for research, planning, and development. So these are clearly new structures which are going to speak to the current needs. And as we progress as a ministry, we truly want to position ourselves to be able to harness the opportunities across the world and see how we grow our economy into a middle-class economy. In terms of commodity availability and affordability, ever since we took over, especially during these very difficult moments where COVID-19 has ravaged the global economy, you've seen that the country on the whole has done quite well. We have ensured that with all the challenges with the logistical movement of goods and services across the globe, we, Sierra Leone as a country, has been able to secure essential commodities. We worked closely with the Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Sierra Leone. We offered, through the Bank of Sierra Leone, a 500 billion credit facility for importers of essential commodities, and you can see clearly the effects of our intervention during this very difficult moment. As I speak to you, prices are quite stable. Rice is available in this country until the close of the year, and more importation is on its way to catch up with the needs for the year 2021. We have enough petroleum products, and as a matter of fact, we have tried to open up the market, and we have introduced a new player who is also going to be doing big. Concession agreement is about to be signed with that player, the oil petroleum products, that's going to be coming with petroleum products in this country, and that's also going to help to establish or rehabilitate an existing but very dilapidated jetty for petroleum products. The impact of that is huge. It's going to have very positive ramifications on revenue, job creation, etc., etc. We also have just concluded our strategic planning workshop for the budget year 2021, because we truly want to see how we synchronize the activities and engagements of all our agencies, so that together we all try to focus on the key priorities as outlined in His Excellency's manifesto, and also as it's contained in the medium-term development plan. We're looking at marketing opportunities. Sierra Leone has joined two very, very big marketing opportunities. We have the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme that allows companies within West Africa to be able to trade with businesses within the West African sub-region. And we have already registered 31 companies that are currently producing in Sierra Leone and exporting to other West African countries. I think that's kudos. It's going to help largely to broaden the opportunities for jobs, and also to help in the diversification of the economy. We also have the Continental Free Trade Agreement, which we have signed to and which we have already ratified. Negotiations on trading in goods has been completed, and we're doing pretty well on that. We're about going to start negotiations in trade and services, and we'll see how we bring on board the private sector to be able to see how they also lend their voice in the overall continental preparation for trade with each other. In the area of industry development, we are reviewing the industry policy, and we've got the United Nations Economic Committee on Africa, Economic Commission on Africa, to fund a number of policy reforms within the Ministry of Trade. We've been able to do the National Trade Strategy that speaks to our preparation and preparedness to catch up with the opportunities under the Continental Free Trade Agreement. We're also developing the Special Economic Zone policy together with its legislation and also the institutional reforms, so that we can also attract investment not only in other areas but also in industry development. We're looking at agro-processing zones. We're looking at the Kwendo market that has been closed ever since the rebel war started in this country. We've done various kinds of surveys, and we are in very, very, very progressive discussions with the Ministry of Planning and Economic Development and the African Development Bank on seeing how we revitalize that Kwendo, that very important international market that links Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea. We have also developed a concept note on the investment opportunities for opening the Kwendo market alongside an agro-processing special economic zone. One big news which I'll announce today is the collaboration we've had with the Ministry of Finance in establishing the National Microcredit Scheme, which is actually meant to provide finance for small businesses. We're going to name it the Munafa Fund. We've already developed the operational manual, and we are also working on its implementation. We're making sure that the fund has offices in all regions and it's properly staffed to be able to create opportunities, financing opportunities for small businesses. The World Bank sponsored agro-processing competitiveness project has made a lot of progress. We have recruited 25 cohorts of SMEs that are into agro-processing, and what we've tried to do with these companies is to actually bring them up, take them from that low scale processes that they've been involved in to supporting them with grants and also training that will see them become either medium-sized agro-processing industries or even transforming those medium-sized into large-scale agro-processing industries. And finally, we have the Economic Diversification Project, which is looking to support SMEs as well, both in the tourism and also in other kinds of businesses, and also to improve the doing business environment. We have a couple of policy reforms that are going to be funded. We'll be looking at a couple of areas dealing with registering of properties, acquiring construction permits, and a number of others. We are very sure that the trajectory which the leadership of His Excellency, the President Julius Maada Bio, retired brigadier, has set us is one that is truly going to transform this country into a medium-income country by 2028. And the efforts of the Ministry of Trade is just focused on that. Thank you very much.